What would happen if you took the pressure off yourself today and allowed yourself to just enjoy the process you are doing on the path to your greater destination? This is about understanding that the journey is your destination. And when you can embrace the facets of the journey, we can actually be fully present in the now and love our life more. More importantly, we remove the stress and we allow ourselves to enjoy the day, enjoy the process. But there is a bit of an interesting point to make here, because if you're finding that you're not enjoying the processes along the way to whatever destination you may desire, or even if you don't know the destination, then that is where a problem is. First of all, we need to know what we're passionate about and start stepping towards more of that every day. If you're doing things within a whole week that doesn't contain any level of passion, excitement, purpose, satisfaction, then that is the glitch in the system. Not what you're blaming, not the no money, not the no love life, not the I hate my job, but the fact that there is nothing injected that is following your heart and soul. So when you know this, that is your priority. Number one, work it out. You're standing in one of the most important phases of your entire journey that not many people talk about quite on this level. And it's really what quietly separates people who are going through this from people who are really stuck in following societal rules. And you know that part of you has already grown and you've left behind the old people and places, but you haven't quite completed that next version of yourself, and that's the in-between. And sometimes you can get so over it, you can feel bored and dissatisfied because you're eager to get there. But there are two things I want to suggest you do before you get to that place, and that is one, just accept the situation as it is. So stop fighting and putting the pressure on. And then two, simply allow yourself to know that it will reveal in its right time. Right now, you're living in two realities at the same time. There's a reality you can see where you're still building, still waiting, still trying to get things to line up. And then there's this reality that you can feel like it's a version of you that has everything you're working on right now. And you know it actually exists because it does in a parallel reality. You know that you can get there. And you've been perhaps dreaming of it for quite some time, but you are getting impatient and tired of the effort it takes to get there. So let's talk about your passion path. It is so important to be understanding what you're passionate about, because that really is one of the biggest guides that you'll have in your life to know which direction to go. If you don't know what you're passionate about, perhaps write a list of things you love, or think of things you loved as a child, or really sink into what lights your heart up, so that even if it's not your whole career that is buzzing you out, it's in fact putting little snippets of fun and joy and love and laughter into your days through a thing that could be a hobby, or it could be your favorite wine, or it could be a little ritual of lighting a candle every night. It could be as small as your beautiful cup of coffee in the sun in the morning. But if you don't know what lights you up, then that is actually a bigger problem than the thing you think is the problem. No love life, don't like your job, whatever the story is. And once you've understood that your passion is also the path, you'll follow this path towards the next moment that inspires you, and keep following the path towards what lights you up. Because even though you might have to, in some cases, have a job on the side if this is a path towards a new career, you might have to have a job on the side in order to bring some cash in while you get your ducks in a row. That job can be seen in a very favourable light. You can be happy to be at the job because that's actually what is helping you to get on this path of your passion path. And if you look at the job as negative and annoying and boring and a pain, then that's going to ruin your buzz to get your passion path alive. So forget the confusion and forget the feeling of stuckness. What I'm going to invite you to do is actually just do today. So you do everything that you can do today without the overwhelm of the big picture, and trust that by the end of the day, you will now know the next step for the following day, or at least you will the next morning. And that sounds way too simple for people to actually get their head around. But what you can do today is as much as you can do today. And that is all. Now, the next step about making this more powerful is to line up with your intuition so that you know that you can let your intuition tell you the way rather than logically working out the next steps. When you can add that into the mix of logic, you really sit in a real power point, because being able to follow the nudges that aren't so logic alongside practical step-by-step plans to get towards wherever you want to go, then you find yourself in a place that is more synchronistic.